hardware and support in that area. Of course, also trade and investment is also an area that we're going to be looking at. The balance.
Meanwhile, some members of President Buhari's delegation have described his agenda with the Chinese as extremely significant for the realization of the Nigerian dream.
Months of planning and weeks of anticipation, the touchdown in Beijing was successful. With the airport reception over, delegates are now set to deliberate and forge new paths of cooperation between Nigeria and China, particularly in the political and economic sectors.
Our image in the world is growing, getting better, and this is what will help us, to bring in the investors that we need to strengthen our economy.
Leveraging on China's concessional aid in Africa and willingness to support and finance the Nigerian government's development agenda, the president's team is optimistic that this trip will consolidate the Chinese government's commitment to President Buhari's expectations for Nigeria.
We want to complete the Mambila Hydro Power Station. We want to build the East-West Rail Line. There are many projects of significant magnitude and impact on the Nigerian people that we need to implement over the next few years, and we need the money. China has the money. They are willing to discuss terms and how to channel these resources, and it is appropriate for the president to be here to lead us in these discussions.
The president's schedule begins in earnest in the morning of Tuesday, the 12th of April, with a business forum meant to explore and identify new areas of Chinese investment in Nigeria. From Beijing, China, Julieta Aino, NTA News.
Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Mustafa Siselo, has lauded Nigeria, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, and Niger Republic for exhibiting exemplary conduct of elections in recent times. He was speaking at the opening of an extraordinary session of the Parliament in Abuja. Joseph Orok reports.
He said with the successful conduct of presidential elections in these countries, the sub-region was set to reverse the hitherto dictatorial tendencies, thereby consolidating democracy. The ECOWAS president noted that with the dynamic leadership style of President Buhari, especially in the fight against Boko Haram, it is reassuring that terrorism and insurgency cannot succeed against the collective will of the people. He explained that the extraordinary session is primarily to consider the draft strategic plan of the ECOWAS Parliament for the next 4 years.
And coming from the speech of the speaker, he commended the cooperation of the Cameroon, the Chad, Niger, and the rest of them, because you know that most of these terrorists came from some of these countries.
President of the ECOWAS Commission, Marcel Alain de Souza, said the collaboration between the parliaments and the Commission will further help member states to tackle various challenges affecting their people. 4 new members of the parliament took their oath of office, while an ad hoc committee to work out the strategic plan of the parliament is expected to be commissioned. Joseph Orok, NTA News.
The establishment of an effective crime prosecution mechanism to ensure dispensation of justice at regional, sub-regional, and national levels has been advocated for the African continent. This, to a large extent, will reduce the intervention of International Criminal Court in crime prosecution in Africa. The Director of Complementary and Cooperation Division of ICC, Pakiso Mochochoko, said this at the ongoing First African Bar Leaders Conference in Lagos. Vera Chumuba reports.
The conference deliberated on the country reports on the situation of justice administration.
This is the network service of the NTA. We now join our outside broadcast crew for a live telecast. Please stay tuned.